What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, if y'all guys enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000. We hope you guys can help us get there. Alright, so now that the Snyder Cut is finally released, fans finally can see the finished project that they've been clamoring for years. Since what, 2017? It was drastically better than the Whedon cut. No doubt. No doubt. It was drastically better. To be honest with you, it was the best DC film I have ever seen. It was that good. I was that impressed by it. I won't say it was like the best superhero film I've ever seen. Simply because there was some moments in it that I was like, ooh, why did they have to have that in there? Like a lot of slow motion scenes. The woman sniffing Jason Momoa's sweater, a little weird. There was some scenes in there that really couldn't or didn't need to be in there. A lot of people love the Cyborg's storyline. I personally wasn't a big fan of it. So there was a lot of little nitpicky things that I could find. Where I was like, it's good, but it wasn't, like fantastic or anything like that. But I will say this, and I'll pose this question to all of y'all. The ones that have been wanting to see this Snyder Cut and been, just begging Warner Brothers to release it. How do you feel after you've watched it? And if you loved it, especially if you absolutely loved it, if it was everything you ever dreamed of from Justice League, how does it feel? How does that aftertaste feel, knowing that Warner Brothers probably isn't going to continue with the Snyderverse? I will say this: I'm not even a big Zack Snyder fan, but that aftertaste tastes really, really bad right now. After I got done watching it, I was like, ooh, they need to make another one, like continue it. I'm excited to see what's going to happen next. And then we get the news that it's probably not going to happen. That hurt pretty bad, even for me. I can't imagine what a lot of huge Zack Snyder fans, huge Snyder Cut fans are feeling right now about that. Let me go ahead and read y'all what Warner Brothers had to say about it. And I'm telling you, I don't think that they got their pulse on what will make them money. I think this is going in typical DC fashion where they're not going to profit the full extent off of a success. Too often, there's been bad films made by DC that fans have just been wanting a little bit more of it. They've never had a win. They've never had something that made Marvel be like, oh, now we've got to step our game up. They finally got that with the Snyderverse, and what are they wanting to do with it? Nothing. Let's go ahead and read what they got to say about it. It says right here, Warner Brothers CEO, despite its mostly positive reception, Warner Brothers CEO Ann Sarnoff denied plans to continue so-called Snyderverse. Sarnoff did recognize the excitement and hard work that the Snyder Cut fans had put in to get this film released, though. But despite being supportive of Snyder getting to release his Justice League movie, Sarnoff confirmed the 4-hour cut completes the trilogy. Since Warner Brothers is looking to go in another direction with the DC brand, Sarnoff's comments about the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League universe have received mixed responses, understandably so. With not much data released on how the Snyder Cut is performed, Warner Brothers is choosing to go forward with other projects and filmmakers. But in the long run, what does this mean for their current DC plans? And what are the chances of seeing any type of Justice League 2? Given that the Snyder Cut is taking place in its own continuity. Warner Brothers has technically been able to release themselves from the world. I'm telling you. I mean, when I read this, the very first thing that comes in my mind is, what idiots. Like, what idiots. You have finally a win. A win. You have excitement for a film. And what do? You're like, sorry guys, we're gonna go on to our normal things like Aquaman 2 or Wonder Woman 3, because Lord knows that's what everybody wants to see now, is another Wonder Woman film. It's just ridiculous. But that doesn't necessarily solve the problem that will be on their hands in the near future. While the theatrical cut is what it is, Warner Brothers has still been moving forward with some of the characters in their own franchises. A third Wonder Woman film is in development, and Aquaman 2 will be entering production this year. Plus, the Flash movie is finally releasing in 2022. Those are the characters who Snyder even cast himself that can continue with sequels even if they aren't tied to Zack Snyder's Justice League. While Ben Affleck's Batman won't have a solo film, he will return in The Flash with Ezra Miller's Barry Allen, even though it won't be tied to the events of the Snyder Cut. The larger issue here is the Snyder Cut won't have a Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and Zack Snyder's Justice League 3 that gets to conclude the director's planned storylines for his trilogy and the main characters, but those characters aren't going anywhere. I've loved the original Wonder Woman film. I was a huge fan of Gal Gadot in that. I thought she did an amazing job. Who was it? Patty Jenkins that directed it. Thought she did a really good job. Then Wonder Woman 1984 come out, and we got a taste of just how bad that franchise could actually be. I don't know too many people who've watched Wonder Woman 1984 and thought to themselves, I want some more Wonder Woman films. I mean, I'm not excited about it. I'm not excited about it at all. Then we've, of course, got the news, that, everything that's going on with the Flash movie. The Batman movies had so much trouble coming out. There's just I don't believe Ezra Miller is going to carry the Flash movie. I don't think there's people out there that's saying, you know what? I can't wait till that Ezra Miller Flash movie comes out. They're not. They're not, DC. They're not looking forward to that. The only chance, and it might not even be a good one. But the only chance you got right now, DC, is if you continue on with a Justice League 2, keep everything in that universe, and go from there. Because you have got such great publicity from from this Snyder Cut. I don't see how now that it's out, you could, look, if you would have never released the Snyder Cut, if you'd never released it, and we would have saw nothing but the Whedon Cut, you could have done this easily. Could have been like, you know what, we're rebooting the whole thing. We're going to take things out of whatever world and go from there. You could have done that easily. It wouldn't have been a problem because no one really liked what they had saw. Now that you've got something that people not just like but love, it's going to be harder to break away from the Snyderverse. It is. It's going to be very difficult now. All that good faith that you've got from fans is going to deteriorate once they start realizing that, yeah, we got this, we got the Snyder Cut out, but for what? So that we could get our hopes up, so that we could see something beautiful, just to know that it's not going to continue on. Like, is that supposed to make us happy? Or are we supposed to be content with this now? Because that's kind of the feeling I'm getting, DC. I'm starting to kind of feel like you think, wow, we got this win, for the people. And then the people realize after they got the win of, okay, we got the win, now what? Now that it's out now that's what people are thinking. Now what? And you're not giving us anything beyond that. You're wanting to give us the same garbage that you had that we didn't really like. Wonder Woman 1984 might have been great for HBO Max, but that was a terrible movie. It was a terrible movie. The Flash, there is no way that people are going to be excited about the Flash movie. I thought Ezra Miller did a great job, but he's not going to carry the franchise. Aquaman, look, Aquaman. If there was one character that I thought was worse than the Snyder Cut, it was Jason Momoa. They cut out a lot of his funny lines from the Whedonverse, or the Whedon Justice League, and all we got was a bunch of slow motion scenes where he's taking his shirt off. That was it. Like I just didn't connect to his character very well. Yes, you might get a lot of people going to see those movies, but those movies aren't going to be any good. And you know what? With all the bad things that's been going around about with Aquaman 2 and the whole Johnny Depp situation with Mira and all of that, who knows? You might not even get half those fans back to even see that wanted to see that to begin with. So good luck, DC and Warner Brothers of trying to catch up to the Marvel verse, the MCU, because you're not now. If you don't continue the Snyderverse, give us the Justice League 2 that's in this continuity. I think you're going to lose all the good hope and good faith that these fans have got, because now they're going to be like, yes, you pretend like you're taking us seriously, but then at the same time you're like, well, we'll give you this to make a little extra money and for you to think that you've accomplished something. But at the end of the day, we're not going anywhere near that. We're going to do something that's completely different in our own crappy little universe that no one was watching to begin with. I mean, I'm such a DC fan, and when I read this kind of stuff, I'm like, these people don't want to make money. They literally don't want to make money. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know if y'all think that they should continue in the Snyderverse. Let me know if your opinion changed after seeing the Snyder Cut. Because I know it did me. It changed my opinion after seeing the Snyder Cut, changed my opinion of whether or not they should continue with the Snyderverse. I feel like you literally almost have no choice, but it don't look like they're going to go that way. So I'm like, this is just one of those things where they're just blowing it. They're blowing all the good response from it. And they're never going to catch up to Marvel now. That's the way I look at it. But let me know what y'all think, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Y'all take care.